for your next posting. That's Alexander O'Neill. He's criticising everybody. Just in case you're wondering, I'm Hoppy Randall. I'm specially hosting the show this morning in aid for charity for Wireless for the Blind. We're having lots of fun here. I've got a few surprises for you. Not so many as is in store for me, but and just in case you're left in any day you're listening to, well...
I heard of Baz Randall, but is this Hoppy Riley me dear?
You got it now. Okie dokie. By the way, you were listening to Baz Riley reading the weather and news from the planet Tharg. He's doing the breakfast show up there. Yeah, that's the sound of Rick Astley. I'm plugging that one for his next release. And we're going to go over to the news headlines now, which John Bennett's going to read for you. In-law, Tish. Happy birthday for the 29th, my darling. And that's love from Nick. And by the way, Nick, Lieutenant Nick Welsh, she's 2ICSC company. I just think I'd plug that one because that's my company. Yes, it's coming up to 24 minutes past 8. We got a couple of slow ones coming on the morning show, BFBS. That was Kate Bush. Sorry to cut that one short. We've got the news headlines coming up next in a very short while. At 8:30. That last request, Harry's game, was going out to love from Tony W02 Dixon to his wife Caroline and Daniel and Charlie. I had to get that one in. Also to Mark Cornell, to his wife Susan.
31 people have been given awards in the New Year's honours for their bravery and devotion to duty during the Zeebrugge ferry disaster last March. 2 George medals have been awarded, one of them posthumously for outstanding gallantry. 13 Belgians, doctors, nurses and rescue workers, are among those decorated. There are 3 new life peers, the head of the civil service, Sir Robert Armstrong, who retires today, the Master of the Rolls, Sir John Donaldson, and the Chief Rabbi, Sir Emanuel Jakobowicz. The golfer Henry Cotton, who died last week, is given the posthumous knighthood. As the row continues over the Sun newspaper and its publication of some of the honours a day early, there's still no comment from the paper's editor, Kelvin Mackenzie. The Prime Minister is said to have been furious at the breach of the strict embargo, under which the list is issued in advance to the media. There's been another mass killing in the United States. 7 members of the same family have been found shot dead in the town of Algona in Iowa. Police say that 43-year-old Robert Driesman shot his parents, sister, and her 3 children before turning the gun on himself. The news headlines from BFBS, London. Now it's time for a look at today's UK newspapers. Heroes is the headline writer's favourite word today. It appears on most of the front pages over reports of the awards in the New Year honours lists to 31 people involved in the Zeebrugge ferry disaster. The Times, under the headline Ferry Heroes Win Honours for Courage, says the 13 Belgians included are thought to represent an unprecedented number of foreign nationals in peacetime. The Governor of Flanders, who's made an honorary KBE, is quoted as saying he was surprised by news of the award. None of those involved had expected to receive any such recognition, he said. There was a disaster. People in the ship needed our help. We just did our duty. The Times says the awards come after months of painstaking inquiries by government officials who pieced together eyewitness accounts of the disaster to ensure that the most deserving cases were recognized. The paper says awards for acts of bravery in the King's Cross underground fire are likely to feature in a later honours list. The Daily Mail says the list's surprises are not so much who's included, but who's left out. The Saatchi brothers, who handled the Conservatives' last 3 election campaigns, had been tipped for honours but are excluded. The Mail says it's being seen as a pointed snub, reflecting Mrs. Thatcher's dissatisfaction with this year's campaign. In an editorial comment, the Mail welcomes the life peerage for the Chief Rabbi, Sir Emanuel Jakobowicz. The paper says it creates a splendid precedent by defying the predictable. The Independent carries a large front-page picture of the retiring Cabinet Secretary, Sir Robert Armstrong, who's made a life peer. The Daily Mirror says show business stars are still in the limelight and highlights the fact that the actress Judi Dench becomes a dame. The Times is not greatly impressed by the makeup of the list. It says there are too many politicians, civil servants, and people on the political make. That view is shared by Today, which welcomes the Zeebrugge Awards, but says the rest look arbitrary and ridden with class distinction. The paper says it's time the list was swept away and replaced with something new. The Independent leads with a forecast of what it calls widespread chaos for British firms trading abroad. It says they face trouble from midnight tonight because of major changes to procedures and paperwork at customs points throughout the European community. The paper says many firms are not prepared. One export agent described the situation as disastrous. There's news in The Guardian of a campaign against violence and disruption in school classrooms. It says the Education Secretary, Mr. Baker, is considering a number of ideas, including an urgent plea to parents to take more responsibility for the behavior of their children. He'll also meet the teaching unions to discuss the problem. The Daily Express reports the results of a survey of 15,000 17-year-olds. They were asked about their views on a variety of subjects, and the Express says the picture to emerge is one of a generation turning its back on the permissive society and longing for a return to Victorian values. 3/4 wanted the return of capital punishment and said football hooligans should be flogged. The Express says the findings are both fascinating and reassuring. And that's our look at today's UK newspapers from
your friendly station, BFBS.
I heard of Baz Randall, but is it something Riley, me dear?
Okay, I got Steve Garland on the line here. I just want to hand him over, and he's got a few requests for this one.
Yeah, this one goes out. Sitting in the morning sun, I'll be sitting when the evening comes, watching the ships rolling in. Then I'll watch them roll away again. Yeah, I'm sitting on the dock of the bay, watching the tide roll away. Sitting on the dock of the bay, wasting time. I left my home in Georgia, headed for the Frisco Bay. I've had nothing to live for, it looked like nothing's gonna come my way. So I'm just gonna sit on the dock of the bay, watching the tide roll away. I'm sitting on the dock of the bay, wasting time. Look like nothing's gonna change, everything still remains the same. I can't do what 10 people tell me to do, so I guess I'll remain the same. Sitting here resting my bones, and this loneliness won't leave me alone. It's 2,000 miles I roam just to make it dock my home. Now I'm just gonna sit at the dock of the bay, watching the tide roll away. Ooh, sitting on the dock of the bay, wasting time.
That's me whistling, by the way. I'm a good whistler, aren't I? That one's going out to Biffo Davis from all the staff. His favourite bar girls. I'm going to give you over to Steve. Steve wants to say a few words, Steve Garland. Where are you, Steve?
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, that one also goes out to all the girls, or all the cleaners there down at Brook Wavell, JRC. From us three here are doing some work. Believe me, there's some hands shaking here, and we're having a good time. Hope you're having a good time, and we're going to hand you now back to Hoppy.
Okay, well, I've got a very special request going out to all the Glosters. If I don't play this one, well, I'm going to get hung, drawn and quartered. You're listening to Hoppy Randall on BFBS. All you down there in BFG, this one's from us.
Neither kings nor queens nor royal marines, but 28th-old brats, brass before and brass behind, never feared a foe of any kind. Shoulder arms. When in 1694 John Gibson beat the drum, who'd have known there were so many honors to be won. In fighting hard for England, we defend the colours well. In fighting far from Gloucestershire, we've many tales to tell. First blood was shed at Ramillies when Marlborough took his chance. The 61st at Guadeloupe again beat the pride of France. We scaled the heights of Abraham like climbing Crickley Hill. Though memories of Wolfe may fade, old brags are marching still. We are the glorious Glosters, famed for our attack in Career and Alexandria, fighting back to back. But when we have served our country and answered the trumpet call, take us back to Gloucestershire, most glorious land of all. Oh, the war against Napoleon, oh, it really made our name. Though we had our jackets dusted well on Salamanca Plain, we battled on New Wellington, the Reds against the Blues, and still they call the men who fell the flowers of Toulouse. He came down from the western hills to match Napoleon's power. Was it Waterloo or Egypt said to be our finest hour? French cavalry drove in at us just like the Seven Bore, but we just fought them fore and aft. Those Frenchies were no more. We are the glorious Glosters, famed for our attack in Career and Alexandria, fighting back to back. But when we have served our country and answered the trumpet call, take us back to Gloucestershire, most glorious land of all. With the primrose colours and the back badge worn with pride, 24 battalions to the First World War did ride. 3 times we stood at Wipers, not once did we give way. In standing firm like Gloucester Tower, we kept the Boche at bay. Private Miles and Captain James both showed great bravery, while Bristol's own and Forrest Boyd earned their place in history. But in memory of soldiers now holding higher shields, 8,000 Gloucester poppies still grow in the Flanders field. We are the glorious Gloucesters, famed for our attack in Career and Alexandria, fighting back to back. But when we have served our country and answered the trumpet call, take us back to Gloucestershire, most glorious land of all. By May of 1940, we were back at Waterloo. Against the threat in Europe, oh, we still had work to do. Letteringham and Castle Hill, we held them at all costs. But sliding back to Dunkirk, it seemed that all was lost. Meanwhile, the 1st and 10th were sent to drive the Japs away. We were fighting fit at Letverdan on the road to Mandalay. And finally, at D-Day, we were there right from the start. Along the path to victory, we slashers played our part. 5 years of peace, then we were called as time out to career. And serving under Colonel Khan, our task became so clear. Against the might of China, we showed courage of the best. But the Battle of the Indian River proved a greater test. With the situation desperate, we withdrew to Gloucester Hill, and holding on against all odds, our chances they were nil. No one but the Gloucesters could have done it, we believe. In honor now we all wear the citation on our sleeve. We are the glorious Gloucesters, famed for our attack in career and Alexandria, fighting back to back. But when we had served our country and answered the trumpet call, take us back to Gloucestershire, most glorious land of all. Cyprus and the Middle East, we continued our success. In Germany and Ireland, old brags they still impress. We who wear the back badge will always march in time, and remember still the folks back home, the friends we've left behind. Yes, we'll remember Egypt, no matter where we go. From Bristol up to Tewkesbury, from Colford out to Stowe, upholding the tradition wherever we may roam. Let's keep the colours flying and salute the hills of home. We are the glorious Gloucesters, famed for our attack in career and Alexandria, fighting back to back. But when we had served our country and answered the trumpet call, take us back to Gloucestershire, most glorious land of all. When we had served our country and answered the trumpet call, take us back to Gloucestershire, most glorious land of all.
Isn't that great? Yeah, just a reminder, you listen to Hoppy Randall on BFBS, the morning show, live from Berlin. It's, what one? It's 8:46 on the 31st of January. I wonder how Baz Riley's getting on Thar. I wonder if they shaved his beard off yet. This is Whitney Houston. This is going out for Carol Kay. love that woman's voice. I'll just hand you over to Ian for a minute. He wants to say a few words. Ian Parker, go ahead, son.
Well, hello and welcome. This is BFBS Ian Parker on the air.
What up, Ian?
Things she had on the scheme he had, told in a foreign land, to take life on earth to the second birth, and the man was in command. It was a flight on the wings of a young girl's dreams that flew so far away. Don't push too far, your dreams are shining in your hand. Don't wish too hard because they come true, and you can't help them. You don't know what you might have said upon yourself. China in your hand. Come from greed, never born on the sea, took life from a barren land. Oh, eyes bright, like a child in the form of man. A prophecy for a fantasy, the curse of a living Don't push too far, your dreams are China in your hand. Don't wish too hard because then they come true, and you can't help them. You don't know what you might have said upon China in your hand.
Yes, the time's rapidly approaching 8 o'clock. It's about 9 o'clock, I'm sorry. It's about 7 minutes to go till 7. I'm lost for words.
Good morning, Hoppy. Are you there?
I'm there, I was waiting for you.
I'm sorry, I thought you'd say, well, Carol should be there somewhere.
Well, nobody told me I had to say that.
Oh, well, right then, 7 minutes to 9 it is. Listen, how have you enjoyed this morning?
Well, I understand now totally why all BFBS disc jockeys are very thin bin pool type people, because I've lost a lot of sweat.
Yeah, when the white hairs are coming in as well, aren't they? It's a bit bad when you sit in the big seat behind there, you've got all the knobs in front of you and you've got to talk as well, isn't it?
Well, it's got more knobs in front of me now than a Starship Fighter Command.
But was it worth it, do you reckon?
I think it was worth it.
I think you've done a very good job, actually.
Thanks very much, mate.
I've enjoyed listening to you. Actually, I only listened from 7:15 on, but there you go. How have you fared? What were you up at 4:30 this morning or something?
About that, yeah.
Yeah. All right then, Hoppy, listen, you have a good rest of the programme, all right? We've got the 1987 BFBS Gallup Top 40 coming up for you for the next 3 hours.
Right, lovely, yeah, mate.
After the news at 9 o'clock, all right?
Good egg. Thanks, Carl.
Take care,
play
then.
one for me later on, will you?
Righty-ho. Bye
Cheers,
now.
mate.
Bye, Baz.
1, 2, 3. Hoppy Randall, Hoppy Randall, Hoppy Randall is a horse's house.
I think we'll cut that one out before I get banned from the air for life.
It was a buffalo soldier in the heart of America, stolen from Africa, brought to America, fighting an arrival, fighting for survival. If you know your history, then you would know where you're coming from. Then you wouldn't have to ask me who the heck you would think I am. And just a buffalo soldier in the heart of America, stolen from Africa, brought to America. Said he was fighting on arrival, fighting for survival. Said he was a buffalo soldier in the war for America. Said he, why yo yo, why yo yo yo, why yo 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 yo, why yo yo, why yo yo yo. Buffalo soldier tried into the land. Whoa. Said him on the ran and made him hold a hand. Tried into the land. Yeah, yeah. Said he was a buffalo soldier in the war for America. Buffalo soldier, dreadlock rasta, fighting an arrival, fighting for survival, driven from the mainland to the heart of the Caribbean, singing, why, yeah, yeah, why, yeah, 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 why, yeah, yeah, yeah.
This one's going out to Sue Andrews, who found out she was pregnant yesterday. Well done, Sue. Oh, and well done, Titch. Okay, this is Hoppy Randall in total chaos at BFBS. We got one more record which we're going to go out with, but I'd like to hand you over to Ian Parker, who had a little bit of difficulty earlier on with his headphones when he was talking. Ian, where are you?
Yes, this is Master Disaster. Anyway, I'd like to say goodbye for what I did earlier. Sorry, but whoever over to now.
Steve, where are you? Steve Garland?
Yeah, well, the 3 hours been in here has been total chaos, but we've enjoyed it. We've been here. Some of us has made some mess-ups, some of us hasn't. Well done, Hoppy. Well done. Thanks a lot. Thanks for listening. Goodbye.
Anyway, for all the Glosters and all the requests that I haven't got in, especially for the KOSB and the Black Watch and everybody in Berlin, and also in BFBS, especially Baz Ryan, who's still up on Tharg at the moment, I'd like to finish off with this one. Just to remind you, I've been listening to Hoppy Randall on BFBS. I'd like to say also thanks for the telex to Mike Checkland, and I'll get in touch with you sometime. Anyway, this is the sound of Cameo, and the last one for me. Goodbye, thanks very much. And a happy new year, especially my wife Jan, all the casualty department in BMH, and everybody in BMH, and everybody else who's listening. Cameo, take it away, boys.
I don't know if I'll see you again.
I'm getting as bad as Hoppy here. Well, I think he did a great job, and I'd like to say thank you very much indeed to him and all the Glosters. They all helped us. Let me just get rid of that, better. The Hoppy School of Broadcasting. As I say, they all did a great job. Thanks very much indeed to Steve, Ian and Hoppy. We've also got all the lads in, and Tim came in as well, who was just awarded the BEM, which was great. Thanks very much indeed. Have a great new year. See you sometime. What was that?
Thanks, Max. Yes, indeed.
Yes, indeed.